Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. We are in the final hour of the trading day. Final hour of the trading day is my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions because during the day you have the day traders and the algorithms. They are in control of the price. I consider it mainly noise. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they take control away from the day traders and the algorithms. I consider them to be the smartest money on Wall Street, and therefore the prices right before the close I consider the most valid prices to make my buying and selling decisions from. So thank you all for coming today. It's nice to see everyone. I hope you're having a good day. Kind of a tough day in the market, but that is part and parcel of trading, right? I was discussing that earlier with a friend of mine, and yeah, you don't win every day. It would be nice. It would be fun. Would it still be fun? I guess it would. Right? To be honest, it would be good. But unfortunately, that's not the case. There's some give and some take, some ebb and some flow. So, how you conduct yourself when there's down days is probably the best indicator of what type of trader you're going to be long term. Don't get in there and fight it. Just go with it. Follow your process. Boring, 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 over and over and over. And that's how you get it done. So currently the Dow is down 85 points, down 0.25%. NASDAQ, though, big down day today. Looks like it's giving back everything that we had, I believe, from yesterday, down 102 points, down about 0.75 point. And the S&P is down 7.29, so down 0.17. So red across the board, unfortunately, today. So here is the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did not have any day trades today to share with you. After that, we're going to go over to the board and take a look and see how my students' positions are doing up on the board. I do see some green over there. That's good. Do see some red, but we'll go through each one. We'll take a look and we'll see how how my students are doing over there. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. Most important part of the day, in my opinion, everyone. You know this. Trading is fairly simple and it's fairly hard. I just was discussing this at dinner. It's super simple, but it's really freaking hard at the same time. And the simple part is learning how to trade. That's really not that tough. The tough part is the emotional side, sticking with your plan. So I like to touch on that every day. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. First, I need to have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Secondly, I need to have a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2-to-1, based upon support below me and likely resistance above me. And number 3, I need to have a complete trading plan, regardless of the approach that I use. Am I adjusting for my position size for volatility? Do I know what my maximum allowed loss is? Do I know where my emergency stop is? Do I know where my end of day stop is? Do I know where my intraday profit targets are? Do I know where my overhead resistance levels are? Do I have a complete trailing stop methodology in place? That's what you need to have a complete trading plan. So I have identified some potential end of day candidates. As we get closer to the close, I'll go through them one by one. We'll look at the risk to reward ratio. We'll look at the multiple time frames. And if I see something that looks good at the end of the day, I will go ahead and purchase it before the market closes. After the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at, please let me know. I'm happy to take a look at those and give you my humble opinion. Just make sure you put an emoji next to it so I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, if there are any new entries or exits today that you would like me to update on the board of my students that have positions up on the board, if you could please wait till the end of the day so that I'm done trading, markets close, pressure's off, and then we'll spend as much time as we need to get them all taken care of. Okay, so I'm going to run that U.S. legal disclaimer and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who is here today. Dan is here. Happy Tuesday. Thank you, Dan. Good to see you. Lova is here. Michael Wilkinson, good to see you, my friend. Good chatting with you earlier. Johnson is here. Nice to see you, Johnson. Hope you're having a great day. Paxton is here. Hi, all. Good to see you, Paxton. Too bad the Jazz lost last night. There is Tracy as well. Hi, Tracy. Good to see you. Hello, Greg and everyone. Good to see you, Trace. Jonathan is here. Good evening, Greg and group. Nice to see you, Jonathan. Frank is here. Nice to see you, Frank, as always. Appreciate everything you do for this podcast. Hope you're having a good day. David is here. Nice to see you, Mr. David. Hope you and the family are doing well. There is Ava. Ava says, hi, everyone. Good to see you, Ava. Nice chatting with you earlier. Miko25 is here. Good to see you, Michael. Good afternoon, Greg and everyone. Good to see you too, Mike. Gary is here. Good to see you, Gary. Hope you're having a good day, my friend. Steve Burns is here. Appreciate you being here, Steve. As always an honor and a privilege. Appreciate everything that you do for this channel. Steve's hello, traders. Just FYI, I have already exited my Roku trade about flat and my VRM trade for a loss after the plunge this morning. For a loss. Yep, me as well. Emergency stop today. Haven't hit one of those. Steve says VRM had some news with selling a huge amount of notes for options to buy more shares in the future. Well, yeah, had to be something because it got walloped today, unfortunately. But that's part of trading, right? That is part of trading. It does happen. All right, well, let's go to the board, as ugly as it is, and let's see what's happening. Alibaba. Frank took a half position. Kamal, Johan, Miko, Paxton, Jonathan. I liked this setup yesterday on Alibaba. It was a higher low V2. My risk here, my stop loss was halfway of the washout bar at 212.20. It's 210.30. It's down 1.71% today. I will be exiting this loss barring some kind of miracle before now and the end of the day. So I will be taking a loss on here. Looks like about 1.71% loss on this particular trade. CHGG, I've had CHGG. Bought this back here. Let's see, Jonathan and Gary and I are in this. We had a double bottom with a bullish divergence, bullish engulfing bar, V1 false breakout to the downside, and a double bottom with the missing right shoulder, double bottom bullish divergence, missing right shoulder. Bought this at 74.64. Had a beautiful trade on this. Moved up strongly, took profits along the way. Yesterday hit a couple profit targets. Yesterday we got to my 1.5 ATR trailing stop level. So now if I get a close below the previous day's low, I will sell half. So very likely I will lock in half profits today on this trade. It is down 1.82% on the day, but it is up 2.5%. And that's why I have the blue triangle here to remind me that very likely I'm going to have to do something with this, but I will be I guess this is a good time to notice. Yesterday, I sold half the position, thankfully, because we went over 50 and under 50. That's a bad sign. And so I did sell half my position yesterday before this move down. But we still have moved 1.5 ATR's trailing stop level, closing below the previous day's low. So I will be getting out of half on another half of a half today. CMG. All right, David, Kamal, Jonathan, and I did buy CMG with V1, rejection of the 250-day moving average, bought it at 1343.05, moved up beautifully. Glad that I took some profits on the way up here, that's for sure. Today we are past 1.5 ATR trailing stop level, and today looks like we are closing below the previous day's low. So I will take a half off today and lock in half off. I'm playing this off at the 250. But this trade down on the day, but up about 1.75% right now. Monster Energy has been, or MicroStrategies has been a great trade for Gary, Tracy, Paxton, Jonathan, myself. Did buy this with a deep dip buy, rejection of the 200-day moving average. Bought this at 459.22. It's currently 629.50. It's up 5.18%. And this particular trade from entry to current price up 27.06%. So that's been an outstanding, fantastic trade. Hit two profit targets here, 614.30 and 630.11. It's way past my 1.5 ATR trailing stop level. It is 65 RSI, which makes this trade really easy. If in the future I get a close below the 5 EMA, I will exit and lock in profits. But hopefully it will keep going up, maybe reject the 70 or the 100 up there, and I will take another half off if that happens. SPY, boy, pretty boring in the overnight SPY department lately. I'm not complaining because it was profitable, but I did buy the SPY yesterday at 425.26. And I sold it this morning at 425.46. So I made a whopping 20 cents, but it is down on the day now. So I'm grateful for that. I buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. I sell it first thing the next morning. TER has been kind of a complicated trade. I mean, not complicated, but been a lot of rules have triggered here. I bought this with a 520 crossover at 127.70, moved up nicely, took profits on the way up, did get to 1.5 ATR trailing stop level, meaning that if I get a close below the previous day's low, I get out of half. I did get out of half and locked in a little bit of profit here at 128.40. Next day moved up, took some profits again on the big up day. Then we closed below both the 5 and the 20, so I sold half of what I had remaining here. Moved sideways, continued to move up, had a nice day up yesterday. And right now with what I have remaining, no profit targets today, but with what I have remaining, I will just continue to hold this until I get a rejection of the 70. If I get up to the 65 RSI, lose the 5, or if the 5 crosses under the 20, I will get out of the remaining amount. Twitter. Down today. Twitter's been a really good trade. I think I'm the only one left. Yes. All right. I did buy Twitter back here with the close over the 200-day moving average. I bought it at 52.58. Deep dip buy off of the 200. Has moved up, moved 1.5 ATRs from my entry. Then I had a close below the previous day's low. I sold half. But then we had another leg up, continue to take profits, continue to take profits, continue to take profits. Down 0.66% today. But this particular trade up 13.09% so far. So sitting good with Twitter. VRM. So listen, you know, my students know this. I talk a lot about emergency stops and what your maximum allowed loss is and so forth. Not glad that this happened today, but trying to look at the bright side on this. It's a good teaching. It's a good teaching moment. So Steve, Tracy, Paxton, Gary, Lilia, Jonathan, and I, we all bought VRM yesterday with the 520 crossover, or not yesterday, the day before yesterday with the 520 crossover, the close over the 200. When I bought here, I immediately took my maximum allowed loss. I divided it by the value of the 2 ATR. That told me how many shares to buy. And then I immediately put my emergency stop, whatever it was on that day. Now it's 381, but it was a little bit, I think, less than that. So that if it does get down there, I hit my emergency stop and I get out right away. I don't wait till the end of the day. You know, you have to come up with a dollar figure where you just say, okay, that's enough. I don't care what happens. I don't care if it bounces. You know, that's the maximum allowed I'm going to lose in my account, and it should be, you know, a 1%, maybe a 0.5%, maybe 2%, depending on your risk tolerance. Mine is usually about a 0.5%. So, good example here of yesterday it going up and me hitting some profit targets. Now, does this make this a profitable trade? No, but it does mitigate the loss because I took some off at profitable levels and had fewer shares when this happened. You can see earlier in the day, it got down to my emergency stop at 40.32, and so I got out. Took a loss on this, but never fun to take a loss. But look, this could continue on down tomorrow. Who knows? It might rally tomorrow. But the point is, you have to have an uncle point. You have to know where you're like, okay, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it will recover, maybe it won't. But this is all that I'm allowed to lose on any one trade. And this is a good example of what happened here. And so Steve got out. I don't know about Tracy, Gary, Lilia, and Jonathan, but I did get out intraday. Without question, right when it hit my stop. And this is down 9.83% today. So that's a bummer. XLU, Lilia and I did take XLU with the 520 crossover, bought it here at 65.95. It's 66.67. Nice that it's up 0.63% on a day like today. So the micro strategies and the XLU did help to cut into the loss today. This particular trade so far up 1.05%. Let's see. Okay. Steve said VR. Oh, we already looked at that one. Tim is here. Good to see you, Tim. Hey, the Clippers got the best of the Jazz last night. Beat them pretty good. Good to see you, though. Ava says APO trying to break out of a tight consolidation. I believe I have that one down here. Do I? Maybe I don't. So I'll put this over here, Ava, and I will look at that when we go through the other symbols. Steve says SCCO bounced near the low. Yes, it did. That is also on my list, actually, thanks to Ava. Tracy says, do you change your emergency stop every day or just sell it when you purchase it based upon that day's two ATRs? Yes, doesn't change every day. It's just based upon the day that you bought it, because when you do the math that way, then it will be exactly what your maximum allowed loss is. We got out. Good. I'm glad you got out. That's how you're supposed to do it. All right, let's take a look over here. Steve is up today, and David are up today with the 520 crossover. Bought at 146.10. It's 147.95. It's up 0.54% on a day, bucking the trend. And this particular trade is up 1.26%, which is saying something on a day like today. So congratulations to Steve and to David. A, B, and B also nicely up for Johan and Gary and Kamal. Bought here around 143.20. It's 151.97. It's up 1.86%. Nice trade. This particular trade up 5.82%. Roku, Steve and Jonathan did buy Roku with the 520 crossover at 341.50. Moved up initially nicely, but today down 6.61%. And I think Steve said about flat. Yeah, it looks like about flat right now. But yeah, big down day today. You know, Steve kept his loss small, right? Gave back some profits, but kept his initial capital safe by getting out with a small loss, which is more important. CTLT, Steve with the 520 crossover at 107.15. It's 108.81. It is down 0.69% today, but it is up 1.45 overall. That's the most important. Amazon. Steve bought Amazon with a 1030 crossover at 33.44.42. It's 33.81.51. It's down 0.07% today, but it is up 1.05 on the trade. So congratulations there, Steve. Shopify up today, bucking the trend. Kamal with a beautiful entry at 12.31 even. It's 13.20. It's up 1.05% today. And Kamal is up 6.94% on this trade. Very impressive. Callaway Golf Company. Frank bought Callaway Golf all the way back here at 27.75. It's 34.35. Sold half here, kept the other half. And this particular trade currently up 19.21%. Way to go, Frank. Match.com. Tracy Paxton got out of half. They bought a nice deep dip buy here with the bounce, deep dip by bounce at the 200 and close over the 200 at 137.90. It's 141.41. It's down 1% today, but this particular trade up almost 3%. Way to go, Tracy and Paxton. Lockheed Martin, I don't know why that one's there. Pins. Steve, nice trade with Pins. Up day today. Bought at 68.07 with a 520 crossover at 70.40. It's up 2.52% today and up 3.2% on the trade. Very nice, Steve. Uber. Gary and Kamal bought Uber. Gary bought it here about 48.20. I think Kamal bought it around 49.50. So probably about even. So it looks like Gary's up a little on the trade. Kamal, I think, is about break even on the trade. It is holding that 200-day moving average, which is good. And then lastly, BMY. Lilia, Jonathan did buy BMY with a false breakout to the downside and a V2. Bought it at 65.36. It is 67.32. It's up a little bit today, so bucking the trend. And this particular trade is up 2.96%. So very nice. All right, so Frank has a poem for us. This is going to be good. Let me put it up here so I can post that to the world later. All right, here we go. Everyone excited? I am. Frank says, great minds can make speeches from the New York Stock Exchange floor. Scholars can teach about theories galore. Experts can predict what's in store, but keep this in your mind and core. The market always knows more. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, someone that's a good speaker can really talk to you about something and convince you about something, or they're wearing a tie on CNBC and they look like they're smart. But Frank is 100% correct. The market always knows more than the talking heads or the slick people on TV. Let's read this again. Great minds can make speeches from the New York Stock Exchange floor. Scholars can teach about theory galore. Experts can predict what's in store. But keep this in your mind and core. The market always knows more. Golly, let's give a round of applause to Frank. Unreal, Frank. I mean, just what a deep pull. I mean, how you put that all together, and I mean, unreal. Like, unreal. It's so great. Dan has a couple clap signs. I agree. My gosh, is that good stuff. My gosh, is that really good stuff. All right. Let's go over to Trader Psychology land before we start taking a look for our end of day trades today. You know, I have my favorite channels on Twitter, my favorite channels on Facebook that talk about trading psychology, good trading words of wisdom. This is Stephen Goldstein at AlphaMind 101 over on Twitter. He has a fantastic podcast just subscribe to him at Alpha Mind 101. He interviews all different types of traders from all over the world, retail traders, hedge fund managers, options people, psychology people. It's fantastic. And Stephen always asks great questions along with his co-host. And so whenever Stephen posts something, I know it's going to be good. He's a retired professional trader and a world famous trading coach. So let's see what Stephen has to say today. Trading psychology is not an add-on to trading. It is trading. And that's what I say. It's pretty easy to come up with a trading plan but to follow it is a whole other thing. It's like losing weight. We all know how to lose weight. We eat better food. Maybe we exercise more. And it works, right? It works. Everyone knows it works. But why do so many people fail? Because they don't follow a plan that works. And it's the same thing with trading. There are so many plans out there that do work in the long run, good trading principles, good risk to rewards that have an edge. But it's our emotions that always get in there and messes with everything. It amplifies our emotion, gets us off track. So, trading psychology is not an add-on to trading. It is trading. And let's take a look at some of the psychology behaviors. Okay. Yes, your behaviors, what you do, how you react, very important. It's going to have an effect on your trading. Mental state, of course. If you ever come into trading, you're not in a good mood, something's happened, you have some problems, right? You're going to bring that into trading. My advice is that if you feel like that or you're having an off day, just step away from the screen. Really, you're gonna beat yourself up in the market weirdly in some psychological way. But yes, your mental state. Make sure you're in a good, calm, correct, alert mental state to trade. Mindset, kind of similar to mental state, but yeah, mindset. I get up, okay, I'm getting out of those losers quickly. I'm going to hold on to those winners. I'm going to follow my plan. It's your mindset about trading. Temperament, listen, if you have a big, huge ego, you should probably consider not trading or at least working on your ego. I think people with big egos are going to have the most difficult time trading of all types of people. If you're okay with the loss, you can let it go. You don't take it personally. You let it just slide off your back like a water off a duck. Very important, the type of temperament you have. Self-control. Well, self-control is going to be governed by your behaviors, mental state, mindset, and temperament. But yes, at the end of the day, it is all about self-control. Cognition, are you taking it in? Are you learning from it? Are you like AI? Are you learning as you go along? Very important. Emotional regulation. Yes. This is what trading is about. It's not about pushing buttons. It's about all of these things, having emotional regulation. It's super important. And of course, I just mentioned ego, but ego control. Do you understand why trading's so hard? You have to deal with all this kind of stuff. Some days you're good, some days you're bad. It's your job to decide to realize what kind of state of mind you're in on that day. And if you're off, don't go for a hike, watch prices right. So the discipline that is most important in trading is not accounting or economics, but psychology. This is by Howard Marks. Howard Marks, great author. I can't remember the name of his book. Super Cycles, maybe? Great, fantastic. He's a hedge fund manager. I can't remember the name of the firm, but trading psychology is not an add-on to trading. It is trading. Behaviors, mental state, mindset, temperament, self-control, cognition, emotional regulation, ego control. It's all about psychology, everybody. And that's why I do this little segment here, because I am aware of this and it is true. So thank you, Stephen Goldstein. This was helpful for me to cover. I hope it was helpful for everyone else. But please follow Stephen over at Alpha Mind 101. Listen to his podcast. I think you'll really enjoy it. So thank you, Stephen Goldstein. Miko says, great as always, Frank. I agree. It's fantastic. Gary says, new traders, in other words, Steve, can you tell me what kind of trailing stop, if any, you use? I'm trying to put a stop limit with a 5% bid trail on, but not sure if that's the best. All right. Well, Steve can reply to that. Morgs is here. Good to see you back, Morgs. What's been going on, my friend? Morgs is from South Africa. Appreciate you being here. Hope you're doing well. Hope your trading's doing well. I saw your post that you took a little break. Nothing wrong with that. Anything I can help you with, Morgs, you just let me know, okay? Let me take care of something. We're pretty good on time. We whipped through all of that fairly quickly. So I'm teaching tonight. If Chase and Sebastian are out there, looking forward to that. Okay. Oh, Bitcoin. Okay. All right. So again, real quick, Alibaba, I will be exiting for a loss, a one and done. In yesterday, out today. No fun to have a loss, but my rules, right? It closed below halfway, the washout bar. I have to get rid of it. I have to keep that garden free of weeds, right? Let the vegetables grow. Those are the winning trades. Get rid of the weeds. If you get too many weeds, it's going to suffocate your garden, or in trading case, it's going to negatively impact your trading account. So I will be selling Alibaba at the end of the day. CHGG, I will be selling half. Sold half yesterday, thankfully. We'll be selling another half today because it moved 1.5 ATRs for my entry and looks like it's going to close below the previous day's low. So I will sell half of that today. CMG will be selling half because it moved 1.5 ATRs from my entry and it closed below the previous day's low. I will be keeping the balance of this, though, based upon the 250-day moving average, but I will lock in half today. MicroStrategies, thank goodness for MicroStrategies, up nicely today. No change on MicroStrategies. SPY, of course, I'll be buying SPY at the close, as always. Twitter, down today, but have already taken half here, just playing this off of the 200-day moving average. Or if I get up to the 65 RSI and close below the 5 EMA, I will get out. Or if I reject the 70, I will get out of half. And then if I have a close below the previous day's low after that, I will get out of the second half. But this one is so nicely in the profit and already took half, so I'm just going to hang out with Twitter. VRM, already out of VRM, got out because it hit my emergency stop. Again, this doesn't happen often, but you have to have it in place. There's a point where you just have to say, that's enough, I was wrong, and I was seriously wrong on this trade. And XLU, of course, are bonds. This one's doing fine, so I'm going to keep the winners, get out of the ones that have triggered my losses like a good boy, right? All right, let's take a look-see. Atex, good to see you. Thoughts on GPN? Pretty good. It's a false breakout to the downside. It's a close under 200, close over 200, and a V2. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly, holding that -1 ATR channel. I like it. I like that one. I like that one a lot. I don't see the 520. Looks like we have a 5200, but that one doesn't count, and a 510, but this one looks fairly good. I like the relative strength of it as well. Steve says, I use different types of trailing stock as a chart evolve. Primarily, I don't want price to close below the previous day's low. I also use short-term moving averages a lot. There you go, Gary. So it depends, basically, is what he's saying. Boeing having a up day, thankfully. Do I want to buy it here, though? I already own it. I own it on the monthly, but would I buy it here? No, it did come into the value zone. It triggered a V2 earlier, but no, I would not buy this. Steve says the GPN GPN average 520 stock profit is 1.33. Stock selection is crucial with momentum signals. Well, that's true. I didn't see the 520. Am I looking at the right? Yeah, I don't see a 520 crossover here, but I see a false breakout to the downside. V2, close under 200, over 200, MACD's green. I like that. David says, how the 520 crossovers in CMG? I believe it backtests well. Let's take a look. Yeah, I love it. This is one of those examples of 520 crossover and then a little bit of a pullback. Let's back test this. Yeah, it does backtest well. Here we go. 520 EMA crossover on CMG. I ran the backtest. 729.7% using that approach. So yeah, that does backtest okay. Backtest fine. Morg says, thanks, Greg. I will let you know I've been super busy the last 2 months doing a bunch of courses. I got a job to work on a super yacht. Wow, not just a yacht, but a super yacht. Fantastic. Hope you have some good adventures, my friend. EMA, sorry, but not there yet. Yeah, it's not there yet. Yep, it is not there yet. So lot of house cleaning to do for me today, for sure. All right, here we go. CVS, return to value, couple days sideways motion, big washout bar to the downside. V2 triggered here at 85.47. All right, 85.47. So that will be kind of my line in the sand there. If it closes above there, I like it. It's a V2. It's in the value zone. We had sideways motion. It is up on the day. Doesn't mean it's going to hold tomorrow. My stop will be about right here, halfway to the washout bar, halfway of yesterday's washout bar. But again, I have to make sure this closes above first. 85.47 right now. It's 85.61. So I do like CVS. SCCO. Ava told me about this earlier. Steve just mentioned it. A lot of confluences here. Rejection of the -1 ATR channel, rejection of the 200-day, good risk to reward. Let's measure how low we got today and see if we can get the confluence of, got to about 32. Got to about 32 RSI. So it did not reject the 30 RSI. It did reject the 200. That does make it a valid setup. Let's look on the weekly. I don't see anything I really like here on the weekly though. We're right in the middle between the 1 and the -2 ATR channels. I'd feel better if we had bounced at the 50-week EMA or the 50-week SMA. A lot of volume, down pretty strong. I mean, good risk to reward ratio. If there was a double bottom and a bullish divergence here, I would probably get in, but it doesn't, and I really don't like the weekly. I don't like the weekly here. So I'm probably going to pass on SCSO. SRG, it's moving its way back into the value zone, but that's about it. I don't see anything there. ENSG, I mean, it's up on a down day. I don't like the rejection of the 50 and the 100, so I'll probably pass on that. ANTM has a false breakout to the downside and a V2 and a close back above the 50-day moving average, although it is rejecting right now the -1 ATR channel above. If we look at the weekly, it's holding the 10 weekly. It's okay. It's okay. That's, I think, my best comment on that. APO, this is what Ava pointed out. We have a fractal. I kind of like it, actually. We have a lot of sideways motion. We have a fractal here, which is a high with 2 lower highs to the left, a high with 2 lower highs to the right. The fractal was triggered 2 days ago. We are back up into that new range. Let's look at the weekly. Real flat top there. Holding the 5 EMA is up today on a down day. It's okay. I mean, it does kind of make sense. All right. Now, SOHO, I do not see anything there. MAR, nice sideways motion, but no clear trigger. If we had a false breakout to the downside V1, I would take it, but I don't see anything there right now. FISV, which is... I'm not sure what the name. Fizerv has a rejection of the 250-day moving average. Let me see if I can back test that. What is it? FISV? Oh, good. It's on here. And again, I'm using this with permission from etfreeplay.com. Let's take a look at the back test here. It's profitable 160%. Only wins 16.7% of the time, but it has about a 6-to-1 win-loss ratio. So technically it does back test well. Do I want to buy it? It's a pretty good risk to reward ratio right there. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly is holding the 100. Not bad. Not bad. 100 below it, 50 above it though. Yeah, it's possible. MTH, Meritage Corporation, only 221,000 shares. I don't like that. Nuva. No. BEKE. Don't really see anything there. Autodesk, a lot of sideways motion here. I'd like to see a test of that 200 again. STNE, a lot of sideways motion here, but I don't see a clear signal. AMR, no. Loan, no. KDNY, no. FUTU, false breakout to the upside, V1 to the downside, no. IT, up pretty strongly today. This one's not bad. This is a false breakout to the downside. Probably not enough washout bar, though, if I'm being picky. And REKR, I don't see anything there. So at the moment, I like CVS with the return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside, and the current V2, although we don't know whether that's going to hold. SCCO, good risk to reward ratio down there. Did reject the 200-day moving average. Let's take a little closer. Let's go back and see how it did with the 200 the last time. Seems like it never ever got back there. Wow. Wow. I think the thing that's going to keep me away from Southern Peru Copper, though, is the weekly. I don't like it's just hanging out in between ATR channels, and there's some support on a larger time frame below, but it's not happening yet. APO had that break out of the fractal. Let's look at the weekly again. Seems a little high to me, to be honest with you. And then FISV, false breakout to the downside, close under, close back over. Yeah, me personally, I like CVS and FISV the best. FISV. FISV. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to do a little house cleaning right now. I'm going to sell my Alibaba. I'm going to sell 1/2 of Chug with the close below the previous day's low after reaching the 1.5 ATR trailing stop level. CMG, I'm locking in half of the close below the previous day's low. MSTR is doing great, holding that one. TER, no problems there. Twitter, no problems there. Vroom, already got out of Vroom, so I took care of one account, now I have to take care of the other. Baba's gone. Half a Chug. Half a CMG. And already out of VRM. Yep, good. Sweet. So, CVS and FISV. That's what I'm looking at. So let's see, the volume on FISV is 2 million, so that's plenty. I think I'm going to go with CVS. I think that's going to be my trade today. Kamal says, if anyone wants to see 50 SMA resistance, match is it. Yeah, rejected here, and here. You're totally right. Dan says, Gary, Steve's Twitter is practically a book as well as current events. He recycles some of the lessons, and he has about 3 stop losses with great explanations that regularly shows up. So, great. Yeah, Gary, please subscribe to Steve over on Twitter. I'm sure you already do, but Dan is completely right. LVS, which is Las Vegas Sands. Not bad. We got to a 33.45. Let's look real quick. How are we doing on time? Okay, LVS. Let's see if I can backtest LVS. Oh, boo. See, ETF is unavailable, so I can't do that one. I don't know, maybe if Kamal or Steve could. Let's look at the weekly. Lost the 50 as well. I'd like it a lot better. Big down bar. Big up bar today, though. I mean, decent risk to reward. There's no doubt about it. Gary says, thanks, Dan. Lilia says, hi, Greg and everyone. Hi, Lilia. Good to see you. Steve says, if anyone wants to see 200-day SMA resistance, Etsy is it. I actually already can see this in my mind. Yep. We did get a couple days over, but over, close under, over, close under, rejection. Yeah, it's in purgatory right here. It's either going to have to go lower or it's going to have to go higher or get some kind of crossover. George is here. Nice to see you. Hi, Greg. LIN, V2 in the value zone. High down bar a week ago, maybe too high on the weekly. Well, let's take a look. Well, you are right. It is a V2. It's a false breakout to the downside. Let's see how high we got today. We got really close to 50, halfway of this big down bar over here on the 7th. We've lost the 50 SMA. I don't like the look of that bar. The close is lower than the open. I probably wouldn't take that one, George. Just my honest opinion. All right, so I'm out of BABA. Chug, I sold half. I'm glad I sold half yesterday. That rejection of, if you want to see what a rejection of the 50 RSI is, that was it yesterday. CMG, I already sold half, locked in half profits on that one. MSTR, doing fantastic. SPY, I'm buying at the close. TER, no issues there. Twitter, no issues there. VRM, I took my emergency stop. XLU up nicely. Boy, big up bar on Netflix yesterday, but just all to be all erased. CVS is right there at that trigger point. 85.47, it's 85.49. So I am going to go with CVS today. That's going to be my pick. So the Dow's down 102, Nasdaq's down 106, S&P's down 9. Now CVS is 1 penny under. If it's under, I'm not going to buy it. We have 5 minutes to go. Right, looks like Steve bought SCCO at 63.10 after it bounced near the 32 RSI and under and back over the 200 SMA. So deep dip buy on SCCO for Steven. Well, CVS is now underneath. So I may have to alternate and go with SCCO. Yep, CVS is currently untriggered, but we'll give it till the end. But I may buy SCCO then if it's still above the 200, 62.75 at 62.99. All right. Looks like CVS is not going to trigger. So I am going to buy SCCO with the under 200, over 200 good risk to reward ratio. One minute to go. Okie dokie. Well, interesting. Interesting to say the least. So let's see where I got filled on this. All right, overnight SPY trade was at 424.48. SCCO is at 62.99. So SCCO, I got filled at 62.99. And overnight SPY trade at 424.48. All right, well, that's a good start nonetheless. So listen, if any of my students have any new entries or exits for me today, if you could please put them in the live stream chat and I will get to them. Just real quick, 3 pieces of business. First, just want to remind everybody that I do offer private one-on-one lessons. I teach one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I teach a 15-hour course. 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. I think it's a great course. I teach you all 5 of my trading approaches that I've been using for the last 25 years. I teach you step by step. It's a very intensive course, but I know you're going to learn a lot. I know you'll be a better trader. So, if you're serious about wanting to, really learn the ins and outs of trading and some really good trading methodologies, along with all the psychology and the position sizing and the trailing stops, all that kind of stuff, let me know. The email is in the description of this video. Just send me an email. Let me know that, just say, Greg, I'm potentially interested in taking your course. I will reply back, say, great, let's set up a Skype call. Skype call is just a good opportunity for you and I to get to know each other a little bit better, talk about your trading, talk about your goals, talk about your challenges. It's a great time for you to ask me questions about the course if you have any specific questions. And you can think about it as long as you want after our Skype call. And one day, if you decide, hey, I want to take that course, I'm going to call Greg or I'm going to email Greg, then do it. And then we'll set it up. All right. It does cost $1,750, but it's worth every penny for the attention you get and all the experience that you're going to be taught. I really think you're going to be glad you did it. I've taught many, many students around the world, and I'm pretty sure that they are very happy that they took the course. At least that's the feedback they give me. So yeah, if you're interested, just send me an email. We'll set up a Skype call. Number 2, I do have a really good course available on udemy.com. It's called the Deep Dip Buy Stock Trading Strategy. That's one of the strategies that I've used on that great trade on MSTR and on Twitter. Bought SCCO today with it, but I teach you the ins and outs every single step along the way so that you know how to trade that strategy. And just knowing that strategy, you'll be in good shape. You can use it on multiple time frames. You can use it for day trading. I use it all the time. It's probably the one I use the most. And the best part is, it's like $12 or $15 on udemy.com. So if you're interested, the link is in the description. Go ahead. Invest the 12 or 15 bucks, take the course, the 9.5-hour course. If you have any questions, just come into the live stream and ask me. And I think having this live stream is a great resource, especially for the people that do take the course. And then lastly, as always, if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help build the channel, keeps the channel alive, lets YouTube know there's some valuable content here. So if you could remember to do that, just takes a second on before you get on with your day, that would be fantastic. And thank you so much. Okay, so now let's see. I have to go back up here because Steve mentioned something. Okay, so Steve's out of VRM, as am I, with an emergency stop. Okay. And then Roku, I think we already took care of Roku. Jonathan, he may be out of it, though. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to take him off as of yet. Okay. Steve is long SCCO. $5.20 cross. Steve exited CTLT for a 1.13% gain. All right, way to go, Steve. Gary is out of half chug. All right, sold half, closed below previous day's low. Good. Locked in profits, always nice. And in SCCO. Good risk to reward ratio there. Kamal, no trades for Kamal. Okay. Frank is out of Baba. Half size. Okay. So you're out of Baba, right, Frank? Totally out of Baba? Yes, because you had a half size to begin with. Right. Okay. Tracy is out of Baba. That's Tracy and Paxton right there. In FISV. Yep, that one makes sense. I put Paxton's name in all caps and in GPN. That's not it. Oakley dokley. Gary is out of VRM. Paxton is out of VRM. Tracy and Paxton. Miko is out of Baba. And in SCCO. All right, Michael. Jonathan is out of VRM. Yeah, those emergency day stops don't happen often, but you can see they do happen. Out of Baba. Kamal, you're still in, Baba. If you're out there, bud. Roku. Jonathan is out, so everyone's out of Roku. And SCCO. Jonathan. Tracy says, thanks for everything, Greg. You're welcome, Tracy. Thank you for everything. David is out of Baba. Oh. Johnson, does sell in May and go away apply to the U.S. market in the summer like it does in the UK? Yes, it does. Historically. All right. So Kamal says no trades. I didn't see anything about Kamal getting out of Lilia. You're still in. I saw you still in something. Was it Baba? No. So I have Kamal and Jonathan still in Baba. Gary says Lilia is out of VRM. Okay. I figured. Good trade, everybody on VRM. Didn't work, but we followed the rules. That makes it a good trade. All right, let's see what's happening after hours here. Qs are down 3 cents. SCCO is up 22 cents. SPY is down 11 cents. VIXI is down 2 cents. All right. So I hope I got everything up here. CVS got close, but tried to come back but couldn't quite get there. Let's read this real quick. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. This is by Martin Cornfield. I talk about this every single day, and I just think it's a good saying, everyone. Makes sense to me. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. And I would say the world could use a little help in going in the right direction. So please go out, try to do something nice for another human being today. Please go out, try to do something nice for an animal today. They will both appreciate it. Should make you feel good as well. So let's try to do this every day. Paxton says, thanks, Greg, and everyone. Thanks, Packy. Good to see you, buddy. So what was the final damage? Dow down 94, NASDAQ down 101, and the S&P down 8.54. Michael says, I've noticed days like today have been much easier on me because I've been practicing the rules on the good days. It makes a big difference in my emotional state. Yeah, I mean, that's what trading is all about. It's about having a plan, following that plan, and like Michael says, I mean, it will make it easier on days like today. It's just one day, you know, it's just one day, right? I mean, yeah, I had a red day today at least, but that's okay, right? They happen, they come, but as long as you are position sizing correctly, you take good risk to reward ratios, you look for high probability setups, you have a good trailing methodology, in the long run, you're going to get them. You will get them in the long run if and only if you practice that day in, day out, repetitive, boring methodology, which I've come to love. But yeah, thank you, Michael. That makes sense. Frank says, financial fortune cookie reads, the best way to get a break in the market is to have an emergency stop. Bam. Nice. I'm going to have to incorporate that in my lessons. The best way to get a break in the market is to have an emergency stop. I mean, how good is that, everyone? That is unreal. So good. We get our intermission jokes now. We get fortune cookies from Frank's. Frank, do you just make those up? I assume you just make those up. Man, what a mind you have. Wow. What a mind you have. Fantastic. Man, that's good stuff. That is good stuff there. Jonathan says, cheers, guys. Cheers to you as well. So I got rid of Baba. I'll clean that up. I think everybody did, right? No, Kamal's still there. Okay. And Jonathan. Chug, I'm in. CMG, I'm in. MSTR in. Twitter. SCCO, new entry. Yes, we're all in that. XLU, good. GPN is Tracy and Paxton, so that's over here. All right. Good enough. Jonathan liked that one. And so did Michael. So did I. That's good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Hey, let's take a look over at Bitcoin real quick. This is Bitcoin, the perpetual contract. You can see we have held above the 250-day moving average, which is right here. We're stuck between the 250 and the 200. I would expect, barring some kind of news or something from Elon, that we will probably very likely test the 200 up at about 42,000, maybe, I don't know. But if we do, I would imagine it's going to have a tough time getting over that. I am out of Bitcoin at the moment. I am waiting for a return to value, sideways motion, V1, V2. That's what I'm looking for on Bitcoin. Ava says, thanks a lot, Greg, and everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. You as well, Ava, and I'll get with you on what we were talking about earlier. Frank says, thanks, guys. Thank you, Frank, for everything. Appreciate it, my friend. So it's a hot day here in Utah. It is 100 degrees, but I am going to go out and go for a nice hike up in the mountains, come home, do a little workout, and then I have lessons tonight. Two students, one in Honduras and one in Los Angeles. So that should be good. So if you're out there, Sebastian, and if you're out there, Chase, looking forward to those lessons tonight. Okay. Well, I think that's it then. I appreciate everybody coming. Sorry it was a red day today. Who knows? We could have red days for 2 weeks. Think about that. We could have red days for 2 weeks. I've been through it. I know a lot of you have as well. It happens, so don't think it can't happen. Let's just make sure we are very picky with our setups and don't go too crazy and stay pretty conservative, all right? So on the way out here, I have to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. I hope you have a really good rest of your day. And I think that's it. Hope to see you tomorrow on Wednesday. Tomorrow's garbage day if you guys are on Wednesday garbage. So put it out tonight. That's a reminder to myself. Okay, take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye now. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.